Mufaro Beautiful Daughers, an African tale by John Steptoe. A long time ago, in a certain place in Africa, a small village lay escorted a river and half a day's journey from a city where a great king lived. A man named Mufaro lived in this village with his two daughters, who were called Manyara and Nyasha. Everyone agreed that Manyara and Nyasha were very beautiful. Manyara was a much away in the bad temper. She treated her sister whenever their father back was turned, and she had been heard to say,
"Someday, Nyasha, I will be a queen, and you will be a servant in my household." If that should come to pass, Nyasha reported, "I will be paid to save you, but my wife, do you say something? You are clever and strong and beautiful. Why are you so unhappy?" "Because everyone talks about how cute you are, and they praise everything you do. I'm certain that Father loves you best. But when I am a queen, everyone will know that your silly catness is only weakness."
Nyasha was sad that Manyara felt this way, but she ignored her sister's word and went about her chores. Nyasha kept a small patch of land on which she grew millet, sunflowers, grains, and vegetables. She always sang as she worked, and some said it was her singing that made her craft more beautiful than anyone else's. One day, Nyasha noticed a small village snake grating beneath a jar of wine.
"Good day, little Yaga. You will come here. You will keep away any carter who means slow my wicked bud."
She bent forward, gave the wooden snake a loving pat on the head, and then returned to her work. From that day on, the Yaka was always at Nyasha's side when she tended her garden. It was said that she sang all the more sweetly when he was there. Mufaro knew nothing of how Manyara treated Nyasha. Nyasha was too considerate of her father, feeling to complain, and Manyara was always careful to behave herself when Mufaro was around. Early one morning, a messenger from the city arrived. The great king wanted a wife.
"The most worthy and beautiful daughter in the land are invited to appear before the king, and he will choose one to become queen."
Mufaro called Manyara and Nyasha to him.
"It would be a guest honor to have one for you chosen. Prepare yourself to join me to the city. I will call together all our friends to make a wedding party. We will leave tomorrow at the sunlight." "But my father, it would be painful for either of you leave you even to be well to the king. I know Yasha would give to dash if she were passed from storm. Send me to the city, and like Punasha, be happy here with you." The king has asked for the most wood and the most beautiful, no? Mayala, I cannot set you alone. Only a king can choose between two. So woody Carter, both of you must go.
That night, when everyone was asleep, Manyara stole quietly out of the village. She had never been in the forest at night before, and she was frightened, but her agreed to be the first appeared before the king drove her on. In her hurry, she almost stumbled over a small boy who suddenly appeared, standing in the path.
I am hungry. Will you give me something to eat?
I have bought only enough for myself. Out of my way.
But please, I am so very hungry.
Boy, tomorrow I will become your queen. How does stand in my purse?
After traveling for what seemed to be a great distance, Manyara came to a small clearing. There, silhouetted against the moonlight, was an old woman sat on the large stone. The old woman spoke.
I will give you some advice, Manjala. Soon after you pass the place where two place caught, you will see a of trees. They will laugh at you. You must not laugh in return. Later, you will meet a man with his head under his arm. You must be polite to him.
How do you know my name? How dare you ask why your future queen? Says as such. You are the old woman.
Manyara scolded and then rushed on her way without looking back. Just as the old woman had foretold, Manyara came to a grove of trees, and they did indeed seem to be laughing at her. She looked up at the trees and laughed out loud. She shouted and she hurried on. It was not yet dark when Manyara heard the sound of rushing water. But there, on the right, she saw the man with his head tucked under his arm. Manyara ran past him without speaking.
I must be calm. I will not be murdered. I learned that duty. The river must be up ahead. The gas city is just on the outer side. A queen is no region only. To whose her? I be queen, I will be queen.
She chanted as she hurried on toward the city. Nyasha woke at the first light of dawn as she put on her finest garment. She thought how her life might be changed forever beyond this day.
I must prefer to live here. I had to leave that villa and never see my father or seem to leave the Yaga again.
Her thoughts were interrupted by rousals and a commotion from the wedding party assembled outside. Manyara was missing. Everyone buzzed about searching and calling for her. When they found her footprints on the path that led to the city, they decided to go on as planned. As the wedding party moved through the forest, violet palmbirds darted about in a cool green shadows beneath the trees. Thought the silence about her sister, Liasha was soon filled with excitement about all there was to see. They were deep in the forest when she saw the small boy standing by the side of the path.
You must be hungry,
she said, and handed him a jam she had bought for her lunch. The boy smiled and disappeared as quietly as he had come. Later, as they were approaching the place where the two paths crossed, the old woman appeared and silently pointed the way to the city. Nyasha thanked her and gave her a small pot filled with sunflower seeds. The sun was high in the sky when the party came to the grove of towering trees. There uppermost, branches seemed bowed down to Nyasha as she passed beneath them. At last, someone acknowledged that they were near their destination. Nyasha ran ahead and stopped the ride before the other could catch up with her. She stood transfixed at her first sight of the city.
Against boys must stand. Gods here just looks, as was life before years I never in all my life they mesh. There could be anything so beautiful.
Arm in arm, Nyasha and her father descended the hill, crossed the river, and approached the city gate. Just as they entered through the great doors, the air was rained by praising cries, and Manyara ran wildly out of chamber at the center of the enclosure. When she saw Nyasha, she fell upon her, sobbing.
Do not go the king. My sister Opish, father, do not let her go. There against monster there. A snake's fist by her. He sighed that she know of my faults and that I dismiss him. He would have sworn me alive if I had not run. Oh, my sister, please do not go inside that pit.
It frightened Nyasha to see her sister so absent, but leaving her sister to comfort Manyara, she bravely made her way to the chamber and opened the door. On the seat of the great chief's door lay the little garden snake. Nyasha laughed and lived in joy.
My little friend, it sure was pleasure to see, but why are you here?
I am the king.
And there, before Nyasha's eyes, the garden snake changed safe.
I am also the hungry boy with whom you share. I am in the forest, and the old woman to whom you made a gift of sunflower seed, but you know me best and Enkoka. Because I have been of this, I know you to be the most worthy and most beautiful daughter in the land. It would make me very happy if you would be my wife.
And so it was that, a long time ago, Nyasha agreed to be married. The king's mother and sister took Nyasha to their house, and the wedding preparation began. 3 weeks in the rain, laid out there of finest court for her wedding garment. Villagers from around were invited to the celebration, and a great feast was held. Nyasha prepared the bread for the wedding feast from millet that had been brought from her village. Mufaro proclaimed to all who would hear him that he was the happiest father in all the land, for he was blessed with 2 beautiful and worthy daughters, Nyasha the queen and Manyara, a servant in the queen's household.